Good morning, students. So, in the previous class, we have discussed what do you mean by this specific heat capacity, okay, and also we have discussed the temperature time graph also, okay, and also we have discussed some important terms which are comes under the change of states. One is melting, fusion, melting point, boiling point, vaporization, condensation, sublimation point. Okay. So these are all some important basic terms which were discussed in the last previous video. So from the temperature time graph, we noticed that why during the change of the states, whenever the substance is changing from one state to another state, during that process, the temperature of the substance is going to be remains as a constant. Okay, why it is like that? Okay, just I will explain that one. Okay, as we have discussed in the last previous video, just we have discussed the temperature time graph. Okay, so you will notice this graph in the yesterday's class that it is 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This is temperature and it is time. Say 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is time. Okay. So when we plotted this temperature time graph here, we noticed that say we have taken an ice here. We have taken an ice and ice is a solid. Ice is a solid here. So when we are heating that one, so the temperature for a while it is going to remains constant for some time. Okay. And later it is the temperature is increasing till 100 degrees Celsius, and after again the temperature is remaining constant. Okay, so here the ice is converting into water. Okay, and here water is converting into, at this point, it is a point at which the water is converting into vapor. Okay. So initially, when the ice is solid, it is a cube of ice we have taken, and we are heating it. So here it is a solid. Okay. All the molecules of the ice, they are bonded with each other. Okay. They are bonded with each other, and slowly we are heating it. So whatever the heat energy is supplying to this ice, that heat energy is used to break down the intermolecular forces between the molecules. Okay, that heat is used to break down the intermolecular forces between the molecules here. Okay, so for some time that heat is used to break the intermolecular forces, and later, now when it completely converts into water, so till there the temperature is going to be remains constant here. Okay, जब तक वो आइस था, वो आइस में जितना भी हीट एनर्जी सप्लाई हो रहा था, वो हीट एनर्जी कहाँ पे चला गया? वो इंटरमॉलिक्यूलर फोर्सेस जो है, यानी कि इसकी आइस के जो मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं, वो सभी जो सॉलिड स्टेट में थे, उनको ब्रेक करने में वो एनर्जी यूज हो गया. अब बाद में जब पूरा लिक्विड में कन्वर्शन हो गया, now when it is completely converted into water, then whatever the heat energy we are supplying, then it is used by the water, and the water will get heats up, and slowly the water's temperature goes on increases here. Now at one stage, at this 100 degrees Celsius, Now again here the water whose temperature when it is boiling it at boiling point. Now at this stage the water is converting into vapor here. Now again the whatever the energy we are giving, whatever the heat energy we are giving, that heat energy is used by the water molecules to convert into vapor. So that is why the temperature is going to remains constant for some time. Now again if you heat it continuously, slowly, again if you heat it more than 100 degrees Celsius, so it converts into one more stage which is called as a plasma state, where the free electrons are going to be formed, where the ions are going to be formed. Okay, so this is what the temperature time graph. From this we have learned that whichever substance which is undergoing which is converting from one state to another state, the substances which are converting from one state to another state, during that process the temperature is going to remain constant. The temperature is going to remain constant. Okay, so that is what we have came to know from the temperature and temperature time graph. Okay, now our next topic is the effect of pressure on melting point. I think you have seen that the skaters who is skating on a ice slab. Okay, आप लोग देखे होंगे थोड़े लोग स्केटर्स जो हॉरिजॉन्टल सरफेस जो आइस स्केटिंग देखते हैं ना, आइस स्केटिंग उस पे कैसे स्केट करते हैं? That is because of due to this effect of pressure. Okay, now say for example, let us we consider an ice block here. We have considered an ice block. It is a very interesting topic here. Okay, this ice block which was kept on two wooden blocks here, at the two ends of the wooden blocks. Okay, it is an ice block here which was kept on at the two ends of the wooden block. Now you take our copper wire. Okay, take our copper wire. Okay, and it is being handled with some weights. ये कुछ वेट्स है, से फॉर एग्जांपल 50 ग्राम नहीं आते दोनों साइड स्केट्स. नाउ इट इज हैंग्ड ऑन द ice block. Now what happens? Now whether this ice block will break or not, that we have to see. Okay, see, when we hang this copper wire on this wooden block, ice block, it was observed that the copper wire will passes through the ice block and it will fall down without breaking the ice block. Okay, that phenomenon is called as regelation, or it is also called as refreezing. It is also called as refreezing. Okay, when we hang this copper wire on the ice block, so the pressure applied by this weights and the pressure applied by this wire on the wooden block, it will come down slowly, and due to this pressure, the ice will get melts here. So, and after melting, whatever the water it is there, it will go in the upside, and there again it refreezes and it becomes an ice here, and the wire comes here. The water which goes in the upper side, it will forms again, it will get refreezes again. That phenomenon is called as regelation or refreezing. Okay, and again due to these weights, again the pressure is being applied on the ice block, again it will come down. Due to this pressure only, the ice is melting, and after melting, again it is becoming an ice. When it goes the upward direction, in the above the surface of this wire, again it will get freezes, and again it becomes an ice block. Slowly, this copper wire will come down here. Okay, so that phenomenon where the ice is again converting the whatever the water which is there after melting, again it is converting into solid. That phenomenon is called as, that is, regeneration or refreezing. It is called as refreezing. Okay, so because of due to this only, the skaters can skate on the surface of the ice. Okay, so that is what effect of pressure on the melting point. So because of due to this pressure, the pressure applied by this copper wire, because how the pressure is acting here, because we have had some weights at the two ends of this copper wire, कुछ वजन है यहाँ पे, उस वजन से यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, इस कॉपर वायर का जो प्रेशर है वो आइस पे गिर रहा है. तो आइस पे जब वो प्रेशर गिरेगा तो वहाँ पे क्या होगा, वो आइस मेल्ट हो जाएगा. अब मेल्ट होने के बाद जो पानी है, जो वाटर है, वो ऊपर के हिस्से पे चले जाएगा और फिर से वो refreeze बन जाएगा. Okay, so that phenomenon is called as refrigeration. Okay, so that is all about the effect of pressure on melting point. So at that melting point, how the pressure is acting, so that has been shown in this diagram. Okay, now next we move on towards the latent heat here, which is also called as hidden heat. Okay, so what is this latent heat here? So the amount of heat which is required to convert state of one substance to other state without what we can say, without transferring the heat. Okay, so that is called as latent heat here. So I'll write the definition, exact definition here. What do you mean by this latent heat? And there are two, without changing the temperature, without changing the temperature is called as latent heat here. So latent heat means the amount of heat which is required to convert the substance from one state to another state without changing the temperature. Without changing the temperature is called, it is latent heat here. Okay, so again we have two types of latent heat here. The one is the latent heat of fusion or melting, the other one is latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so I will write the definition here. What do you mean by this latent heat? The amount of heat required to convert the substance from one state to other state without changing the temperature is called, it is latent heat. Okay, so we are having two types of latent heat. That is one is latent heat of fusion or melting. The other one is latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so I will define this. What is this latent heat of fusion? So latent heat of fusion or melting point is defined as the amount of heat required to convert the substance from solid state to liquid. Okay, solid state to liquid at its melting point. without changing the temperature is called latent heat of fusion or melting. Once again I am defining this one. The latent heat of fusion or melting is defined as the amount of heat required to convert the substance from solid to liquid. Solid to liquid at its melting point without changing the temperature is called latent heat of fusion or melting point. Now, latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization is defined as the amount of heat required to convert the substance from liquid to gas. Liquid to gas at its boiling point without changing the temperature is called latent heat of vaporization. Here in vaporization we are converting from liquid to solid at its liquid to gaseous at its boiling point without changing the temperature. Okay. So this is all about the latent heat and the types of latent heat. Here latent heat of fusion is denoted by LF. Okay. And here vaporization is denoted by LV. Okay. So this is all about the effect of temperature on melting point, and also we have discussed the temperature time graph, and from this temperature time graph we can conclude that whichever the substance which is undergoing the change of state, there the temperature is always remains constant. Okay. And the latent heat, which is called as hidden heat, and the types of latent heat, there is latent heat of fusion or melting, latent heat of vaporization. Okay. So this is what we have discussed in the today's class. In the next class, we are going to discuss about the latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. Okay. Thank you, students.